this one to be so aggressive just at the beginning. He's doing perfectly, but look at Toro Rosso, how quick they are and how close they are each other. And Brandon Lee is already there.
Lap 4 of 18, Lee tucked right up behind Patrick Holtzman now as they come through this fast sequence of left-handers. You've got the flame towers on the right-hand side at the top of the hill as they then start to drop down the hill and out onto that really long back straight. And Berejnej's broken the toe a little bit. That's going to be absolutely key on this first lap, especially then when we get into the DRS zone. Now into the quick right, left, where Pierre Gasly had his fun earlier this year. And now out onto the start-finish straight again, and it's going to be Lee, surely, who's going to attack Patrick Holtzman here, right into the slipstream. Holtzman weaving around to try and break the toe. Which way is he going to go to defend? He holds the racing line. Lets Brandon Lee go to the inside, and Lee is up into third spot, but there's another long straight coming.
Yeah, you're right. And just after corner 2, another long straight that in some laps they will have to use the DRS here, and will be another place where you can attack. But then the next break is not easy to approach. If you try it on the inside, usually there's a bit less grip, and the cornering of the corner comes a bit more tight. Not easy to drive this part. Oh, this track is epic in the middle sector. The wall is there. Look at it.
4 guys already in the pits, one of which, Michael Schmidl, has already got a 5-second stop-and-go penalty for not slowing down. But this track's probably the most difficult in terms of pit entries than the other 2 we've had previously. So I think we might see a couple more as we go into this race.
Lap 2 of 30. Berejnej leading. Frederick Rasmussen in second for Toro Rosso. Here we are, coming up through the tight castle complex. There it is in the background, and then out to this fast sequence of left-handers that takes them down the hill again. Enzo Benito doing a good job in 5th place for McLaren. Tino Naukarinen in 6th spot. Alec van der Waal, Bono Quist, James Doherty and Graham Carroll completing the top 10. As you say, a couple of pitters in those early laps, or at the end of the first lap. And there, up the inside goes Alec van der Waal, past Tino Naukarinen. But Naukarinen's now going to be behind as they come for this run, which is it's not the longest straight on the calendar, but it's pretty much the longest flat-out sequence of corners. And surely Naukarinen's going to be getting back through here past Alec van der Waal. Still no DRS, tucked right into the slipstream. Frederick Rasmussen sets the fastest lap of the race. It's not quite close enough for Williams. And now DRS will be enabled the next time they go through a DRS protection point. But Berejnej still leading the way. Rasmussen second, but only half a second behind. He's in DRS range too.
Yeah, he's not opening the gap, the leader, and he has Rasmussen just behind him. Seems that he finds immediately the feeling of the track, but then he's struggling to improve his lap time. And already the Toro Rosso driver is just behind him.
Brandon Lee's going to have to be a little bit careful here. He's not really closing in on Rasmussen, and in fact Holtzman looks like he might get DRS at the end of this lap and have a go at Brandon Lee into turn 1 himself, but it is very close at the front. Will we see our first ever non-Mercedes victory in 2018?
Will we see our first non-Brendan Lee victory in 2018?
Very true.
There is Frederick Rasmussen then in second place at the moment. A really good drive from Rasmussen. He's been quick all day, but he hasn't quite had the points to go with it. He was picked up by Toro Rosso after the pro draft had finished. Wasn't actually selected in the pro draft, but was then subsequently chosen, the 18-year-old from Denmark. And he is the man chasing down Daniel Berejnej in the lead of this race. Brendan Lee in third, 1.2 seconds further back. Patrick Holtzman just out of DRS zone there in that second Toro Rosso. And actually, he's going to be under a bit of pressure from Enzo Benito, who might not quite be actually in DRS either. But here we go. Frederick Rasmussen closing in on Daniel Berejnej, the race leader, coming down to turn 1. You can see the slipstream. Now the DRS pops open, and surely Berejnej is going to have to defend. He holds the middle ground, makes Rasmussen go to the inside, onto the brakes, and through into the lead. Frederick Rasmussen, a little straddle on the curb on the exit, but that is first place. The Mercedes down to second and third. His teammate, Patrick Holtzman, meanwhile, has been in the pits.
That was just perfect. Did you saw how deep he braked on the inside, and then the exit was just kissing the wall but not touching it. Was just perfect. And Rasmussen is racing very well. Look the line that he's using. Curb, white line, not touching the wall. Is just perfect. Now he's a bit under pressure, and now he's approaching the best part of this track. Middle sector, castle area, castle zone. Check it out, the track. How tight is it in this area? Just perfect to drive.
Here he comes then, into this really tight left-hander of turn 8. Oh, that onboard every single time. So many drivers crashed there, Matt, in qualifying.
They did. I think it was 4 or 5. So it has caught them out in qualifying. Will it catch them out in the race? I think they might be taking maybe a 10th off their lap time just to make sure they get through unscathed. Someone I've noticed in the last 3 races now that Berezne is very calm when he's going into battle with anyone else, whether it's Brendan Lee or Rasmussen. He doesn't do any sort of extreme sort of defensive moves. He's very relaxed. He feels like, right, I've lost the lead, but I'll come back at you the next lap. It's no real hardcore wheel-to-wheel action, which we kind of all want to see.
And then DRS.
Down the main straight they come again. Lap 4 of 13, about to start lap 5 of 13. We're on board with Berezne in second place. Into the pits comes Rasmussen. Rasmussen, the race leader in the Toro Rosso, pits a lap before Daniel Berezne, and Brendan Lee pits as well then. So we've had second and third into the pit lane. That means Bono Cuis moves up into second place for the time being, but Daniel Berezne stays out there. Neat little stop really for the Toro Rosso gang, but there is Berezne still out on the track.
Probably is a good choice because we remember it. He lost last race, Berezne, stopping 1 lap earlier than the teammate, and now he used the head and he stopped 1 lap later. So maybe he can make the difference on his race result. From my point of view, smart idea. At least he's going to try for the victory.
Berezne leads but has yet to stop. Bono Cuis second and has yet to stop. Sven Zerner third and has yet to stop. The same is true of Fabrizio Donoso. This is a tight one. McLaren and Sauber, Alec van der Waal and Enzo Benito dueling it out over 8th position, and Alec van der Waal has the spot for the moment, so that's actually a good effort from the Sauber driver to get up in front of Benito, who was looking very strong in the opening stages. But the Dutchman back in front of the Italian for the time being. Tino Naukarinen in that Williams is not too far behind either, but surely Daniel Berezne will pit at the end of this lap too, as we go on board with Alec van der Waal in the Sauber, up the hill and round the next couple of lefts.
What I find extremely interesting about this whole esports series is that Brendan Lee can just have a look over his shoulder, and there's his teammate, the man he's trying to beat. I don't know how much you can see of his screen. I imagine not all the technical stuff on the bottom right, because that would be a slight advantage, but to be fair, it looks like Brendan, he's almost in the television. That's how close he is getting into it. It's amazing. The concentration on his face, he lives and breathes every single corner.
Here comes Enzo Benito in the McLaren, right in the slipstream of Alec van der Waal, the 23-year-old who was 4th in the Vegas E-Race, the E-Race of Champions champion as well, is trying to make his way past that man there in the box, Alec van der Waal. Van der Waal covers the inside line in the Sauber, and there we go, job done, round the outside, and Benito is up into 6th position, but still Fabrizio Donoso yet to pit. So Berezne in the net lead, still only half a second though ahead of Frederick Rasmussen, so he's emerged in front with fresher tyres. That's a positive.
But he's now put himself under pressure because he'll now have, or Rasmussen will have DRS on him down the straight. Oh, that's close.
Enzo Benito getting a little bit up close and personal with the ball. You have to be alert on a street circuit as we're on lap 6 of 13. And it is Fabrizio Donoso who is yet to come into the pits. Berezne is in the effective lead of the race, but look how close it is, first, second and third.
Who said that quote?
I don't know.
No idea.
Not an easy condition for Berezne, and look at them, they are just behind him, and they can use the advantage to have the DRS on the main straight, but probably Brendan Lee is going to put some pressure on Frederick Rasmussen and giving the chance to his teammate to try to pull away a bit.
Oh, how much curve do they take coming through there?
They completely cut it, and they jump on it, trying to be away from the outside wall.
This is a crucial moment. This really is. Like, if Rasmussen doesn't get through here, I think Berezne may well pull away.
Here they come, down the start, finish straight again. Rasmussen's going to have DRS, but Brendan Lee in the Mercedes behind is going to have DRS as well. Fabrizio Donoso still going out there, but these are the 3 in the net lead for the race. Looks a little far back, does he, Frederick Rasmussen, on the run down to turn 1? Can't quite do it yet, but he's got another chance coming up from turn 2 down to 3.
Did you so important for Berezne? Try to close the line. As soon as you go and approach the main straight, just before the break, try to close a bit the line. I think that you put in difficulty your rival behind you. That you need to try the attack on the outside, and it's never easy.
On board with Brendan Lee. Now keep an eye on that bottom right. There he goes, a quick switch down to front brake bias, then up to change the fuel mixture again. It's busy, busy, busy on the wheel.
Important for Beresny, following the car in front of him. He has Donoso. If he can close the gap to Donoso, just beyond the 1 second, he can use the DRS on the main straight. Seems that he's not gaining so much, because look, 2 seconds away, it's not easy for him to close the gap, but he needs to DRS to try to defend the position. If no, the cars behind will be easy for him, will be difficult for him.
This is a fantastic fight. Lap 7 of 13, so we're past half race distance now, and there is Brendan Lee. A little look to the right at something as he comes into the left-hander. Rasmussen right up towards the wall. This is going to be a good chance for Lee to nick a net second place here. They are both, and Rasmussen's gone wide. Well, here they come onto the back straight. Surely this is Brendan Lee's chance to take second position away from Frederick Rasmussen. He'll pop open the DRS when you hear the beep. There they go, across the line.
Not easy for Lee, because Rasmussen has the DRS, he's trying, but now look, Rasmussen is still in the lip stream of Beresny.
He's squeezing him towards the inside, and he's going to get pushed into the wall there if he's not careful, Rasmussen. But Brendan Lee is through, up into second position. No, Rasmussen's still there. They're still side by side. The Toro Rosso driver holds on to second place, but Brendan Lee is not giving up yet. He's right up behind as they come into turn 3. Looks to the outside, and again,
let me say that Rasmussen was just magical on the outside in turn 1, in the outside on turn 2, and then without DRS defending the position to the approach of turn 3 was just perfect. Well done to Rasmussen. Maybe is the move of the victory. Now he can have a chance on the teammate of Brendan Lee.
But with these two fighting, that also gives Beresny a chance to push or pull away and maybe get outside that DRS detection zone of 1 second. It looks a little bit close. Oh, how close they get through this castle section is absolutely mind-boggling.
Really entertaining racetrack, Baku, and look, Beresny hasn't quite broken the DRS range of Rasmussen behind, but as you say, Matt, you called it, that if he managed to survive that one attack, he should be able to hold on. That's what's transpiring at the moment on lap 8 of 13, about to start lap 9.
Beresny will be safe, because look at it, it's just below 1 second to the car in front of him, and so he will have the chance to use the DRS to try to overtake Donoso, and for me, is a big advantage to defend the position.
Down the back straight, Brendan Lee trying to find the slipstream of Frederick Rasmussen in front as they come down into, and Fabrizio Donoso does pit now then, so Beresny in the lead in real terms now. Rasmussen 8 tenths back, Brendan Lee 4 tenths back from him. Lap 9 of 13, Enzo Benito running in 4th place. Really good stuff from Enzo Benito, they have to say. Holtzman doing a good job in 5th. He's right up behind Enzo Benito. Then there's a bit of a gap back to the Alec van der Waal and Bono Kuijs battle, the battle of the Dutch racers in 6th and 7th place, with Tino Nauffelin and James Doherty and Joni Tormala completing the top 10 as it stands.
Sven Zern is having a great race as well, 7 places gained since the start, but it also highlights how important qualifying is in these 25% races. Sven Zern clearly doesn't deserve to be starting 18th place, but that's the pressure. They have to put a lap in when it counts, and for those that don't, they may have an impressive 6th place gain, but they could still finish in 11th.
Now this is Patrick Holtzman right on the back of Enzo Benito in their battle over 4th position as they climb up the hill again past the castle, and that is Holtzman there with a nice little slide from the rear, and he's comfortably in front of Alec van der Waal at the moment, who's battling with Bono Kuijs, as I mentioned. But Rasmussen's not letting Beresny get away, is he? It's still 8 tenths of a second there. Lee still 6 tenths of a second behind Rasmussen, and then it's a 5-second gap back to these two, who are having a lovely battle. On board we go with Patrick Holtzman in 5th position now, as he gets on the power and down this long, flat-out stretch. The 24-year-old from Germany.
Good exit from the last corner from Enzo Benito. Then look how he opened the gap on the main straight. Extremely important. Last corner before this straight. Ooh!
Here we go. This is Bono Kuijs trying to get past Alec van der Waal for 6th place. Kuijs has the outside line. He's got more speed. And he's done it. Gets into the apex. And Bono Kuijs then up into 6th position for the former sim racing champion. and that is a good move. He's been racing, I think, 10 years now, Bono Huis, and he's 24. He started when he was like 14.
Look how close it is for the lead.
Yeah, just 0.3 of a second between Berejné and Rasmussen. So has Rasmussen got something left in the tank, and he's bringing Brendan Lee with him as well. Here they are, 1, 2, 3, all for the lead of the race in Baku.
That's fantastic, but every race, Berejné is suffering the last few laps. When he put the super soft red tires, it seems that he's struggling with the setup in the last few laps. And look, the pressure that Rasmussen and Brendan Lee, they are making on him. They are very, very close. Rasmussen needs to focus and concentrate in the last two corners on the left to have the main straight very close and try to attack there at the first break.
Lap 10 of 13. On board with Brendan Lee in third place. You can see Rasmussen and Berejné up in front. The Hungarian, 18 years of age from Budapest, leading the way.
This is going to be very close into turn one, I'll tell you that.
I'm not sure if Rasmussen's quite close enough, because it's Lee who's closer to Rasmussen than Rasmussen is to Berejné to start lap 11 of 13. We're on board with the third place man in this train, Brendan Lee. Pops the DRS open now down towards turn one.
He's saving his battery.
Disappearing towards the front, goes to the outside. Can he do Berejné around the outside in turn one? He can. Frederick Rasmussen in the Toro Rosso takes the lead, and here comes Brendan Lee through on his teammate. Berejné loses 2 places in pretty much a corner and a half, and Frederick Rasmussen is now in the lead, but Lee is going to hunt him down.
Did you see Rasmussen? He was flying on the main straight. He was just better than the other, and then he breaks so deep on the outside, and they took the lead. And Rasmussen today is doing a fantastic job.
How he will rue, Matt, those penalties he picked up in earlier races.
Oh, absolutely. But then again, we've got 7 more races after this, so it's more than an opportunity to get back into this championship, especially if he wins. What I'd love to see is an onboard of Daniel Berejné, because he's got 1 lap fresher tyres than his teammate, and yet he seemed to not even... Well, he must have made a mistake, because he was 0.8, nearly a second ahead, and now he's falling away. There's a bit of debris in the castle section there as well.
31st of October will be the next couple of races, and then the final over the weekend of the 17th of November. That's when the 2018 F1 New Balance Esports Pro Series champion will be crowned. So we've still got a long way to go this year, and we've still got a little bit to go in this race, although they're about to start the penultimate lap. This is the last chance to make a move down into turn one. And Brendan Lee is pretty close to the back of Rasmussen, less than 0.6 of a second, although as I say that it goes up to slightly more.
But we need to consider the speed of Rasmussen on the main straight. Maybe the setup that he chose with the aerodynamics a bit less load give to him the speed on the main straight. And look now, seems that he's taking the lead stream, he gaining, but maybe it's not enough.
Onto the brakes into turn one, Rasmussen onto the penultimate lap of the evening and of the race in Baku.
What I've noticed is I think Brendan is saving his battery for the back straight of this penultimate lap, because he won't have a chance on the final lap, because the start-finish straight and the finish line even is not the furthest all the way down to turn one, is it? So he won't have an opportunity there. So I think this is the moment.
Lap 12 of 13. Frederick Rasmussen in the lead for Toro Rosso. Brendan Lee has won both of the opening races of the Pro Series of F1 Esports so far today. Can he wrap up a third, or will he be beaten down into second place?
Daniel Berejné is back, because it seems that he was out of the game, but now he's just behind his teammate, and maybe he can have the chance for doing something.
So one more shot coming down into turn one, really, for Brendan Lee. We've seen how fast Frederick Rasmussen is in that Toro Rosso. They can choose their own setups, these drivers. All the cars are equal. They're obviously painted in the colours of the teams, but they're all equal in terms of performance, so it's all about the setup changes you make. And Lee is close this time, about half a second, less than half a second. A little bit of a lock-up there, I think, from Frederick Rasmussen, and this could be the chance for Brendan Lee. So close to the back now, as for the last time, they make their way down towards turn one. Daniel Berejné is in there too.
Look, he's using good the battery to have the speed. He saved the battery, like you said, Matt, and now he can have the chance. He's closing the line, Rasmussen is the key.
They're absolutely wheel to wheel coming down into turn one. Brendan Lee on the outside. Can he get it done on the brakes? Yes! What a move by Brendan Lee. Around the outside, into the lead of the race on the final lap. Has Rasmussen got any answer?
Well, maybe he's in the slipstream now. Will he go for a do-or-die move to win this race?
He's got the DRS as well. Coming down into three. Lee covers overtaking spot, and he realises that. But Lee now surely has it under control. He's just got half a lap to go.
Probably lost the momentum Rasmussen now because Brendan Lee just opened it a bit the gap. He was clever and smart to close the door at that break and to give to the rival the outside line. Not easy on the 90 degrees corner. Now extremely important for Rasmussen. Exiting from the last corner very close to try the attack on the main straight. It seems that is a bit too far.
Oh, Rasmussen's closer to Lee than Beresnay is to Rasmussen.
There's only 0.4 of a second between them. Brendan Lee misses the apex just a little bit. It's going to be a drag race. Rasmussen tucks into the slipstream. He'll get to pop open the DRS before the finish line, but surely he's a little bit too far back. Brendan Lee has been pushed all the way. He hasn't dominated any of the races, but he leads. Surely with 3 out of 3. Here comes Rasmussen on the line. He takes it. Rasmussen wins in the Toro Rosso. Absolutely side by side across the line, and it's Fredrik Rasmussen for Toro Rosso who wins the 3rd race of the 2018 F1 Esports Pro Series. Brendan Lee second across the line. Daniel Beresnay in 3rd place. A 4th and a 5th for McLaren. I'm going to sleep.
Goodness
I'm done.
me.
Was masterclass. Was just masterclass.
Thank you, Dominic. Thank you.
Rasmussen did something amazing.
Wow.
2 overtakes that we need to remember it. And then the try, just on the main straight. From my point of view was done. Victory for Brendan Lee. But Rasmussen changed the story.
Absolutely exceptional stuff for Fredrik Rasmussen. There he is, looking calm as ever. Not a hint of delight, a little shake of the head, but absolutely stunning stuff from Fredrik Rasmussen. And that was right towards the line. And as soon as he came across the line, Brendan Lee had his hands up, giving a little round of applause because that was thrilling. And Rosanna, for the first time, is going to... Where's she gone? She was with Brendan Lee a minute ago. Now she's moved. That was quick.
I am with Fredrik. Show me your hands, please, sir. They are shaking, I can tell you that. Congratulations, what a finish. And what a way to end the day, because you've just got better and better and better today.
Yeah, I'm pretty speechless.
I can see you're visibly shaking, but well done. I think everybody here was so amazed by that end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, the final lap, Brendan overtook me. I thought all was lost. Then Daniel hit me in middle of the lap somewhere, and then I saw Brendan. He made a mistake in the penultimate corner, and then I did that corner perfect, and then he made another mistake in the final corner, and then I just got the perfect run on him.
You certainly did. Enough mistakes, but I think you're on top form, though. Well done, Fredrik.
Thank you very much.
Tom, back to you.
Thank you so much, Rosanna. I tell you what, that was exhilarating. I think we all need a break to gather our breath and come back, and then we'll have all of the results. See you in a second.
I am Tino Naukkarinen.
My name is Soin Saltunj.
I'm Olli Pahkala.
My name is Saritin Saltunj.
I'm driving for Williams Esports.
Driving for McLaren Shadow.
I drive for Alfa Romeo Sauber F1 Esports team. I drive for Alfa Romeo Sauber F1 Esports team.
When I heard my name in Pro Draft, it was mix of feelings. You know, in a way it was like an adrenaline burst or endorphins coming in. You've been waiting for this moment for a few days or a few weeks even.
At the Pro Draft night, when I got picked, I didn't really realize how big thing Esports was. But now, after a few months, this is the biggest opportunity of my life. I'm really happy to be part of Williams.
Being picked last, I was really relieved because at that moment I didn't think I was going to get picked, but good thing I did. I was really proud once I got called out, hearing my name out there with all the viewers around as well. Pretty cool, and yeah, I've been dreaming about it since I was a kid.
Yeah, my rival for the Pro Series, I can't actually say because there is literally so many good drivers.
It's really hard to pinpoint out who's going to be the main competitors. I know Sauber has great with the brothers. They can do amazing things.
To be in the same team as my brother is amazing. I can't wait to get on the track with him. My ambition obviously is to try and win the Drivers' Championship, but also as a team as well. I think if we can wrap both of those up, it'll be amazing. Hopefully put in a good performance.
What a night we have had. Welcome back to the F1 Pro Series. I tell you what, we needed that break just to settle down a bit. Lando, Jolyon, that was an incredible race there. I've said it all night. It was thrilling, it was exhilarating, that, especially the last lap between Brendan Lee and Rasmussen. It went neck and neck to the wire.
It was a thriller. It was like a horse race on the run to the line even, and I thought actually Rasmussen had lost it with Brendan Lee coming through into turn one, and then by the time they were halfway through the lap, you thought it's another Brendan Lee walkover, and you were thinking he wants to fight for second. But that run to the line, Brendan just made a couple of little mistakes, as Frederick was saying on his interview with Rosanna. Brendan got the run. Frederick got the run. What a thriller!
Yeah. What mistakes did he make? I mean, Brendan's a man who. He's a very measured character who will be looking at those mistakes. But were they major mistakes? Were they small mistakes? They were mistakes nonetheless, but how severe? Very severe, but...
It was very severe in terms of result, obviously, but it was very small in terms of, just running a bit wide or slight lock-up into the last two corners.
Was it the adrenaline of the race that made him make those little mistakes?
It could have been, but I think he's pretty good at dealing with the situation of being in the lead because he's done that quite a bit. So I don't think it was so much of that. I think Frederick just nailed it pretty much in the final sector.
Brendan had said to everybody after race 2 in China, he said, look, everyone's got the capability if they've got the mental edge, if they believe they can do it. I tell you what, Frederick, it was incredible. He really did believe, and you could see that because even when he was about to lose, he didn't give up.
Absolutely, and it looked like he was fighting for second place. Daniel was on the back of him, and then just 2 corners to go, charged to the line. It was brilliant. The whole race in between the 3 of them, though, was absolutely cracking. It's exactly what we want to see. And finally, a non-Mercedes win.
Yeah, this is the whole lap for everybody. This is lap 12, just going into lap 13. So our last lap of the race, and it was so neck and neck. I mean, obviously, Enzo Benito 5 seconds over behind them. So it really was a 3-horse race, if we're going to use your analogy, Jolyon. But they really did push to the max on this. They really wanted it.
Absolutely, and the gap to Enzo Benito in 4th, it shows really, because these three were fighting it out the whole time. And here you just thought Brendan had the job done. He was up the inside clean. Really, it was absolutely fair racing and right up to the limits. And then out of that turn 4, then there's a little gap there, look, and it's actually Daniel Beresne that's on the attack into second. That just lets Brendan escape. But then those mistakes again right at the end, because look at this, look at the gap he's got already from 1st to 2nd.
The cheers inside the arena here, down in London at the G4 Arena, were magnificent. 1 minute it was Rasmussen, everyone's cheering from the Toro Rosso team, and then it's back again to the Mercedes. They were loving it, but it had everything, but really a race for the neutral, because as good as Daniel and Brendan have been in this competition so far, we want it to go the distance, don't we, to the 17th, the final.
Yeah, definitely, and I think Freddie showed good pace over the previous 2 races. Obviously had the penalty in the previous one, which didn't allow him to be on the podium. So Freddie has showed it's possible to beat the Mercedes guys and Brendan. So hopefully he can bring it on in the next few races.
Do you think, talking broadly here, with Rasmussen's result here today, does that give a bit of belief to all the other drivers that, Brendan came into this with a target on his back, and now they can feel like, you know what, if I've got the mental capability, I can do a Frederick. That's what they'll be saying now.
Possibly. I think, he showed that it's possible to win even though you're not in a Mercedes. So, yeah, I think, it does show for the other drivers they can do it if they put the hard work in and do a good enough job altogether. And I've kind of been up against Freddie on some sim racing, and he's extremely good. And I was never quite as quick as him. So it is tough, and I know how accurate and how precise everyone is. So it's not easy to be quite as quick as these guys, but it shows how good of a job they all do.
Brilliant. Lovely stuff, Lando. Listen, I'll tell you what, a driver that didn't drive tonight, but has been part of Series 1 of the Pro Series and is part of the Toro Rosso team is Jem Bullock-Bassi. He's with Rosanna now.
Jem, what did you make of that last race? An incredible showing for your teammates.
That was amazing. They both did an amazing job. I mean, Freddie, it was probably his best track out of all those three, so I trusted him since the beginning. I knew he was going to win this race, so yeah, he had some issues in qualifying. P2 was still great, but I mean, this win was absolutely amazing. Same with Patrick, top 5 finish, some great points for the team, and yeah, congratulations to both of them.
Such positivity. I know everyone will be wanting to see you race next time, Jem.
Oh yeah, of course.
Thanks for joining us backstage. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you so much. Well, there you go. Let's have a little look at the Driver Championship right now and what all of those 3 races have done for the table today. Well, as you can see, right at the top is the good old Brendan Lee, winner of the Pro Series Season 1. Daniel Berezny in 2nd place, but that Fredrik Rasmussen giving everyone a joy of a race to watch in Baku today. And down there in 10th, James Doherty. And then it goes on forward. So the other drivers not quite making it into the top 10, but still many, many races to go. It's been thrilling today, hasn't it?
It has, definitely.
Good. I like that. No more than that. No, not speculating on this. Jolien, going forward, we've been entertained. We'd expect the same in the next one on the 31st of October, wouldn't we?
If we get the same, that'd be brilliant, because that was as good as it gets, really, the race coming up to the run to the line. But yeah, it's good. That 3 cars for the win, 2 different winners as well today now, so it's all to play for.
And do you reckon Brendan will keep those little mistakes in his mind at all?
I think it will, knowing that it cost him in the win. So he's definitely got a small amount of improvements to make, and I'm sure he's gonna be practicing hard over the next next month pretty much to try and iron out those mistakes, because yeah, we know how much he likes to win.
Okay, perfect. Listen, Lando, lovely to have you here. All the best of everything. Hopefully see you again soon. And Jolien Palmer, thank you so much as well. Big thank you to Rosanna Tennant as well. Matt Gallagher, I can't forget anyone. I must remember everything. David Davide as well. And Jack Nichols, everyone who's been watching. And to these guys in the audience and the drivers as well. It's been thrilling. Right then, that's it for now on race week 1 of the F1 Pro Series 2018. We've still got 7 more races to come. Next time you'll see us will be Wednesday, the 31st of October. With the final 4 races being on Saturday, the 17th of November. You will not want to miss it. Thank you so much to everybody. Good night.